Men who died almost 9 years ago appeared before an administrative hearing officer today as they seek compensation from Seawalker Guam Tours. Michael Bautista, Ed Usan, John Uggan, Keith Brian Mendiola, and Roland Jose are known as the Lahintasi, the Sons of the Sea. The five went out on kayaks after Tropical Storm Ting Ting and never made it back alive back in 2004. The families have spent the last 9 years trying to get compensation from Seawalker through the Workers' Compensation Commission. Holly Lee is the mother of Roland Jose, and Janie Rose Uggan Cruz is the sister of John Uggan.
I'm just hoping for justice. I'm fighting for my son justice. It's still very hard for us to find closure. We're just looking for a compensation for the miners, for the survivors who are still left behind. The miners, the mother, the wife.
As the families seek closure, today's hearing was to determine if the five men were injured in the scope of their employment with Seawalker. If the incident is determined to be a compensable work-related situation, each employee's family could receive $100,000.
We don't know why they got to call when it's rough condition, why they come in the company in the first place. And we don't know why the company and the insurance deny when they're supposed to be responsible for the employee. You know, when we rely on the company, why they reject us? You know, why they turn away from our family.
Attorneys read the depositions of two Seawalker employees. Matthew Marmar's deposition was read out loud first as he talked about the June 2004 incident and said Uggan was the one who suggested the group of employees go out in the water.
Was it a part of your job duties to take the kayaks out if there were no customers around?
If it's part of our duty, no. We're not supposed to go out in the kayaks because they didn't tell us to go out there. Yeah, and the water was rough too.
Another Seawalker employee, Edison Etsy's deposition, was also read in as testimony today.
How did you view what John Uggan said?
For telling us to go ride kayaks?
Yeah, to go and have fun, you said.
For me, it's not an order, but it's like it's a fun time.
He's telling you it's okay to do it?
Yes. You know, us, we know it's not safe, but for me, I still want to do it, you know, to have fun with my coworkers, to enjoy the waves.
But attorney Robert Keogh contends that the men weren't on a frolic, saying they initially were riding the kayaks during a break in work, but he says it quickly turned into a rescue mission.
5 to 10 minutes after the first guy fell off, the others are paddling out to try and save him. Certainly an appropriate thing, a necessary thing, an honorable thing these other guys can be doing.
This rescue theory is a total mischaracterization of the deposition testimony. I'm not going to argue too much about it. The employees weren't on the pontoon when they noticed their colleagues were in trouble out on the reef. They were out there with them. Everybody was out there. They had already violated direct orders from their supervisors, the bosses, and violated the order to chain up the kayaks and wait for the water blaster.
And Seawalker Director of Operations Daryl Romero maintains he made it clear during a morning staff meeting that day that the basic instruction was to not go into the water, only to chain up the kayaks and make other preparations.
But nobody's to go in the water because we all knew that the current was strong. We all knew that.
You told them that?
Yes.
Attorney Keogh pointed out that in the company's press statements after the tragic incident, there was never any mention made about his order for staff to stay out of the water. Administrative Hearing Officer George Santos will review all of the testimony and evidence presented today. Part of that will include this picture of the five men, something Seawalker opposed having admitted into the record.
The intent is Mr. Romero gets to come here and testify in person. These five young men cannot. So to have their presence here, at least have photographs to show that these are human beings that we're talking about here and not legal issues. I move that that this photograph is relevant, admissible, and is something that the commission should know about.
Santos will make a recommendation that will be presented to the Workers' Compensation Commission that will ultimately decide if Seawalker will have to compensate the families of the employees. Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Mindy Uggan.